You're here because you're interested in astronomy and Nostradamus's predictions. Prepare yourself, because what you're about to learn might alter how you see the future. Nostradamus was famous for making amazing predictions, and he left behind quatrains that people all over the world are still interested in. A number of astrological signs are reminded of times of major change by some of these works. Some of us will have a hard time in 2025 because of the way the planets are lined up. But who is the most open? Nostradamus said that 5 zodiac signs would be in great danger, and this video will go over them in depth. These signs will face problems they didn't expect, like personal problems, losing money, or mental instability. Do you feel worried? Stay tuned to find out if your sign is one of those in danger. Most importantly, we'll give you tips on how to handle this time wisely. Sign up now to make sure you don't miss any of our future horoscopes. People who are interested in astrology and predictions are still fascinated by what Nostradamus said. Some of the details in these mysterious quatrains point to times of great turmoil. Strong planetary alignments seem to be happening in 2025, and his works say that this will be a very hard time for a number of astrological signs. But why is this the year? What effect will the stars have on us, and how will these patterns in space affect our everyday lives? Nostradamus was famous for predicting big events in the world, and he often connected his predictions to the way the planets moved. It's amazing how correct these texts are when they say that changes in society, politics, and the economy are caused by the stars. His expectations for 2025 are clear. Some zodiac signs will face big problems, losses they didn't expect, and times when they really think about things. Not only are these problems with money, but they are also mental and spiritual. The zodiac signs that are in this area of impact will need to pay extra attention. Nostradamus said that these trials are not guaranteed, but that if you are ready, they will hurt you less. If you know how to read them, astrological patterns can serve as signs. So, this time will have challenges, but it will also have chances for people who know how to be alert. There is a close connection between astrology and Nostradamus's predicted events. As an astrologer, Nostradamus often used the moves of the planets to guess what would happen. That time, astrology was thought to be a strong way to see not only into the future of people, but also of whole countries. Stars and planets were seen as signs of big changes, and Nostradamus knew how to read the sky to see what would happen. In his works, this connection between astrology and his prophecies is very clear. There were certain planetary alignments that were linked to every big event, every political or social upheaval. He said that these connections made it possible for changes to happen in people's lives and in societies as a whole, whether those changes were good or bad. Nostradamus saw astrology as more than just a mysterious science. He saw it as a way to understand how the world works. These lines will be very important for some astrology signs in 2025, especially those that are at the heart of Nostradamus's scariest predictions. Because of this, the signs that are in danger will need to pay close attention to the effects of the planets to better understand what lies ahead. Some signs of the zodiac will have a hard time in 2025. According to Nostradamus's predictions, 5 astrology signs will be most affected by the way the planets are lined up. There will be times of doubt, upheaval, and deep change for these signs, which are affected by strong cosmic forces. The movements of the stars will have a direct effect on these signs, whether it's a personal issue, money problems, or problems in relationships. Who are these signs, though? In this important year, why are they more open than others? In these quatrains, Nostradamus has left us clear clues that show when each of these signs will be in danger. The sections that follow will go into more depth about the specific predictions for each sign that is in danger and how they can get ready for this rough year. Which of the 5 signs are you? Let's find out together. Scorpio is the first astrology sign that will have a tough time in 2025. Scorpio is known for being fierce and mysterious, and it is often linked to big changes and crises. This year will be no different, as the planets are aligned to put this water sign in the middle of big changes. But why Scorpio? What natural forces will affect its path during this very important time? Nostradamus often talked about times of change and crisis for Scorpios, times when their locals had to reinvent themselves to stay alive. Pluto, the planet that rules Scorpio, is a big part of this change in 2025. Pluto is the planet of destruction and rebirth. Its powerful powers make us let go of things that don't work so that we can be born again stronger. For Scorpios, this could mean changes in their personal lives, problems at work, or sudden money problems. When it comes to Scorpios in 2025, Nostradamus says they will have to face their darkest fears. This sign is used to exploring the darker parts of its mind, but now it will have to face truths it may have been avoiding up until now. There will be problems this year that will affect both the outside and the inside of a person. Scorpios will have to be very tough to get through these problems. Nostradamus also warns people not to lose money or betray others. Scorpios might have people they trust let them down while they were expecting more. This betrayal could have something to do with personal or business ties. To get ready, people born under this sign will need to be even more careful about how they work together and handle their money. It's very important that they don't let their strong feelings get the best of them and that they keep instinct and thought in check. But things aren't all bad for Scorpios. Again, this sign is great at making things grow again. Even though things are hard, this year could be a chance for them to start over and break out of old habits that aren't helping them. Scorpios are very good at getting back on their feet after a bad situation, and 2025 could be a big year for them. They can get ready for a better future by letting go of what's holding them back, but only if they're brave enough to go through these times of change. The mental health of Scorpios is another important thing to keep an eye on in 2025. Nostradamus said that problems for this sign don't just happen outside of them. They have a big effect on their inner world as well. People born under the sign of Scorpio feel things very strongly. If they don't take care of their mental and emotional health this year, they could eventually snap. Scorpios will need to make sure they take time to relax and think so they don't let their bad feelings take over. In 2025, the best piece of advice for Scorpios is to welcome change instead of running away from it. This year will test their ability to let go and accept changes. Whether it's in their jobs, relationships, or earnings, they'll need to be ready to let go of things that aren't working and focus on the future. The people who know how to be flexible when things go wrong will be better after this rough patch. Finally, 2025 will be a very important year for Scorpios. There will be a lot of hard times, but they will also hold the seeds of a good change for this sign. It's important to stay alert, take care of their emotional health, and see problems as chances to learn and grow. It's important to remember that even when things are going badly, Scorpio can come back to life and do even better. Gemini is the second sign of the zodiac that will have a rough year in 2025. Gemini is an air sign that is always handling different points of view and choices. It is known for being dualistic and having a quick wit. Nostradamus said that this dual nature would be put to the test in 2025, when Geminians would have to make important decisions that could change the course of their lives. People often think of Geminis as flexible and able to quickly adjust to new situations. This year, though, they'll face problems they won't be able to get away from as easy as usual. As the planets line up, Geminians will be going through a time of uncertainty when they will have to deal with problems both inside and outside their own communities. Nostradamus says that these locals will be torn between two different paths, whether it's in their work, their relationships, or their plans for the future. For Geminis in 2025, one of the hardest things will be making important choices without letting their natural tendency to be unable to decide hold them back. The decisions they make will have long-lasting effects, and they'll need to be very smart to keep their minds clear as they consider a lot of different options. The next few years could be very important for them, and they'll have to learn to let go of some of their dreams. They will have to decide what's most important to them and stick to their choices. Gemini will also have trouble with their relationships. Nostradamus said that there would be problems in their family or with their friends. There could be rifts because of misunderstandings or disagreements, and Geminis will find it hard to make their stand clear. People often see their flexibility as an advantage, but it could be hard for those around them to understand them. They need to be more forceful and learn to say no when they need to. Geminis shouldn't always try to please everyone. Geminians might have the chance to take risks with their money. Nostradamus tells people to stay away from risky investments and projects that look good at first, but could end up being bad. Geminians will be interested in new ideas and creative prospects, but they will need to be careful not to fall for promises that seem too good to be true. They will have to carefully think through every choice, getting help from people they trust and making choices based on facts. Gemini, on the other hand, is not out of luck. Even though there is a lot going on, this year can also be a time of personal growth. The problems they have to solve will push them out of their comfort zone and help them become smarter. Geminis can come out of hard times smarter and stronger if they accept their dual nature and use their natural intelligence. Keeping their emotions in check will be another important thing for Geminis in 2025. Even though this air sign is smart, it has a hard time controlling its deep emotions. This year, feelings it would rather hide could come to the surface. Galileans will need to learn to deal with their feelings instead of running away from them. Meditation, self-reflection, and talking with close family and friends they trust can help them get through this tough, stressful time. For Geminis to have the best chance of getting through this tough year, they will need to learn how to be more committed. Being too shallow or all over the place won't help them in 2025. To the contrary, they will need to learn to stick to their choices and keep going even when things don't go as planned. To avoid the problems that come with not making a choice and getting sidetracked, they need to be more present and focused. Additionally, 2025 will be a very tough year for Geminis, filled with inner struggles and tough choices. On the other hand, these trials will also give them chances to learn and grow. You will be a better Gemini in the years to come if you can accept your dualities, stay focused, and face your fears. Also having a big effect in 2025 is the third zodiac sign, Virgo. Earth signs like Virgo value security and order in all areas of their lives. They are known for being good at planning, being precise, and paying close attention to details. Nostradamus, on the other hand, said that this year would be very rough for this sign, especially when it comes to their health, work, and personal lives. Virgos want their lives to be well planned and organized, but in 2025, unexpected events could shake their confidence. The way the planets are lined up means problems in the areas where Virgos usually feel safe, their health and work. So, Virgos will have to deal with times when things aren't stable, which could throw off their daily balance. This year, one of the hardest things for Virgos will be keeping their health in good shape. In his predictions for this sign, Nostradamus often talked about how important health was. Virgos are perfectionists by nature, so they might feel stressed and tired when they're under a lot of pressure, especially at work. They will need to pay close attention to their bodies and not ignore the signs that they are getting tired. 2505 is a year when Virgos need to put their health first, even if it means giving up some duties. When it comes to their jobs, Virgos might run into unexpected problems. Things they couldn't control could cause projects they were counting on to be late or fail. This could make this sign very angry because they are used to being in charge of and planning every aspect of their work life. But Virgos need to learn to let go and understand that things don't always have to go as planned. This year could teach this sign how to be humble, which will push it to be flexible and adaptable. Relationships between Virgos could also be put to the test. Their desire to think deeply about everything and criticize what doesn't work could make things worse, especially with family or friends. People born under the sign of Virgo need to learn to be kinder to themselves and others, or else problems will arise. They will have to let go of their need for perfection and focus on what's important, connecting with each other and knowing each other. Virgos may also have a hard time with money in 2025. Even though they usually handle their money wisely, unplanned costs or risky investments could throw off their budget. Nostradamus says not to make hasty financial choices. When it comes to money, Virgos should be very careful and not start projects until they have all the information they need. This year will be hard for them, but it's important to remember that Virgos can get through anything thanks to their realistic sense and analytical mind. For Virgos in 2025, the most important thing will be to learn to be patient and strong. They will need to learn to relax and let go, as well as accept that some things are out of their hands. It will help them deal with the problems that lie ahead if they take care of their mental and physical health. This year, another thing to keep an eye on for Virgos is their mental health. Stress that builds up over time could throw off their mental balance, so they will need to find ways to recharge. The best ways for Virgos to get through this tough year will be to meditate, relax, and take some time to be alone. They can escape bad long-term effects by taking care of themselves and not doing things that hurt themselves. In conclusion, 2025 will be a very hard year for Virgos. Their health, jobs, and relationships will all go through big changes. Virgos will be able to get through these tough times, though, if they are flexible and take care of themselves. They will also come out of them better. Nostradamus tells this sign that times of trouble can also be times of growth and change, as long as they don't let their need to be perfect get in the way. In 2025, Capricorn, an earth sign controlled by Saturn, is the fourth sign that is most likely to be in danger. Capricorns are known for being disciplined, persistent, and driven. This sign is known for being able to move up the career ladder slowly but surely. They have a strong sense of duty and run their personal and professional lives in a methodical way. Nostradamus, on the other hand, said that the year 2025 would be very hard for people born under this sign. They would have to deal with unexpected problems in their careers and finances. Capricorns are stable and focused on their goals most of the time, but they might have a hard time at work. Nostradamus said that the way the planets will be lined up in 2025 will mean a time of professional stagnation. Capricorns may have carefully planned projects, but things outside of their power could cause them to be late or even fail. Capricorns don't like it when their hard work and efforts are lost, so this could make them very angry. In 2025, one of the hardest things for Capricorns will be accepting that they can't change some things. This sign needs to learn how to deal with changes because they are used to planning and order. Capricorns will need to be flexible and maybe even look at their goals and standards again. It's not going to matter if you know how to do everything. What matters is how to handle events that don't go as planned. When it comes to money, Capricorns may be under more stress. In general, they are very careful and strict with their money management, but 2025 could bring them unexpected costs or losses. Nostradamus tells people that risky investments or relationships could hurt their ability to pay their bills. Capricorns will need to be very careful about the money choices they make, staying away from taking too many risks and instead focusing on safe, well-thought-out options. Even though Capricorns will face problems, they will also have the chance to rethink their values and long-term goals. This sign might have a lot of deep questions in 2025. People born under the sign of Capricorn might have to rethink their goals, plans, and jobs. The people involved could choose to see these problems not as impossible problems to solve, but as chances to grow and change. In 2025, Capricorns may also have problems in their personal relationships. This sign is likely to be too focused on their work and tasks to pay attention to the people close to them, which could cause problems. Finding a balance between their work and personal lives will be very important for them. They should also be careful not to let outside forces hurt their relationships. Being able to talk about their feelings and emotions freely with people close to them will help Capricorns get through these relationship problems. The mental and emotional health of Capricorns in 2025 is another important thing to keep in mind. This sign gets stressed out because it has a lot of duties, and this year will be no different. People born under the sign of Capricorn will need to learn how to take care of themselves and find ways to relax and recover. They can keep their minds healthy and avoid getting tired by meditating, working out, and spending time with people they care about. The most important thing for Capricorns to remember in 2025 is not to give up when things get hard. In spite of the many problems that will come up, they have the strength and determination to get through them. They will have to learn to be adaptable and understand that things won't always go as planned. If they need to, they will have to change their focus and work toward new objectives. Finally, 2025 will be a very hard year for Capricorns, especially when it comes to their careers and money. But these problems can also be a chance to grow as a person and in your career. Capricorns will be able to get through this tough time and come out stronger and more driven than ever if they learn to deal with unexpected events and take care of themselves. Pisces is the fifth sign of the zodiac that is at risk in 2025. Pisces is a water sign that is very in touch with its feelings and inner world. People often think of Pisces as an idealist or dreamer who would rather deal with the subtle facts of life than the harsh ones. But according to Nostradamus's predictions, this year will have times when Pisces will have to face hard truths that will make them question their beliefs and how they see the world. Pisces will be put in situations in 2025 where their lives could fall apart. This sign is used to going with their gut and depending on their sensitivity, but now they will have to deal with things that require them to be more practical and smart. Because of the way the planets are lined up, Pisces may experience betrayals, disappointments, or setbacks in their spiritual or artistic projects, forcing them to change their goals. Pisces will have a hard time in 2025 because they need to accept that they need to ground themselves in reality. People born under this sign usually try to stay away from conflict or big tasks, but this year will be different. They won't be able to hide in fantasy or put off making hard choices. Pisces will need to learn to deal with problems by taking real steps instead of avoiding them or hoping that things will work out on their own. Nostradamus also says that Pisces will have problems in their personal relationships. Their tendency to make their loved ones seem better than they really are could lead to upsetting truths. There was a chance that secrets or hidden facts would come out, which made them question their relationships. If Pisces wants to avoid getting too upset by other people's feelings, they will need to learn how to set clear limits. This sign is often too sympathetic, so they will need to be careful not to take on other people's stress or negativity, or they could lose themselves in their own feelings. Pisces will need to be careful with their money. People born under this sign don't always have good money sense, so they might be tempted by risky investments or deals that seem too good to be true. Nostradamus says that Pisces could lose money if they don't keep their feet on the ground. They shouldn't let their feelings guide their choices or listen to advice that they can't trust. But Pisces doesn't have to worry about everything. This year will also give them a chance to get to know the real world better and grow their relationship to it. Pisces will be able to get through hard times and build a more solid and stable future if they learn to balance their deep inner life with real-world actions. People born under this sign are sensitive, but they have an amazing ability to change. 2025 could be the year they finally make their dreams come true. On a mental level, Pisces might also go through times of doubt or confusion. They are used to trusting their gut and their link to God, but the hard things that are going to happen could make them feel further away from these spiritual realms. But this spiritual problem could also be a chance for Pisces to change what they believe and make their faith stronger. In 2025, the best advice for Pisces is to learn how to mix their intuitive side with doing things. It won't be enough to just hope or dream anymore. You'll have to fully engage with the real world and make clear choices. Pisces will be able to get through this time with more knowledge and maturity if they stay in touch with reality while still keeping their own sense of style. Finally, 2025 will be a year when Pisces have to face the facts they have been avoiding for a long time. They'll lose their illusions, but that will give them a chance to build a life that is more real and in line with their greatest goals. Even though there will be problems, Pisces will come out of this time stronger and more grounded in reality. 5 signs of the zodiac are especially at risk this year, but events will still affect all the other signs as well. In fact, the heavenly alignments will have effects on all signs, even if they aren't as strong or noticeable as they are on the signs that are directly affected. Even if they are not in the front line, signs will still need to be aware of the emotions that could build up in the areas around them. When people interact with signs of danger, it could mess up their personal or work lives. So, it's important for all signs, even those who don't seem to be affected as much, to keep an eye on how their relationships and the world around them change. For instance, fire signs like Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius might get angry when they feel like their energy is being blocked. These signs are often rash and sure of themselves, so they will need to learn to calm down and be more polite when they talk to others. In the same way, water signs like Cancer and Pisces will have to handle the emotional waves that come with signs going through a crisis without getting too stressed. There will also be an effect on air signs like Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius from the general mood of the year. They'll have to be more realistic than normal if they don't want to be swept away by the winds of change. As for earth signs like Taurus and Capricorn, they'll have to work hard to stay stable, even though their loved ones or work surroundings will be affected by changes. In short, even signs that aren't directly in danger in 2025 will need to stay alert and get ready for effects that will show up in their relationships or jobs. All signs of the zodiac will be affected by the way the planets are lined up. Don't forget that the stars are leading us this year, but it's up to us to make the right decisions so that this difficult year can be one of success and renewal. Thanks for seeing this video through to the end. Write the word transformation in the comments if you want to welcome the good vibes of 2025. This stands for rebirth and the power to get through the problems that lie ahead. We'll see you soon for more stellar news.